Hi everybody, welcome back and welcome to a Very Vague TBR for the rest of the year. So I did one of these last year and I thought it would just be fun just to kind of do it again this year. So this is just, I'm very much a mood reader, so I don't really tend to do TBRs, but I've got a lot of books kicking about here that I'm like, okay, I really want to get to these sooner rather than later, so maybe I'll make a video about it. I'll get to it. So it's sort of like a sort of vague TBR or an MBR or something like that. So yeah, so starting off really, I am reading a few arcs that I've been given on NetGalley. So I'm currently about a little bit of the way into Children of God and Fighting Men, which is really, really good so far. Really enjoying it. So I'm definitely really trying to get to finish that so I can send back feedback soon. And then I also have a copy of Into the Broken Lands by Tanya Huff that I really want to get to as well. Like I said, I've got an arc for it, so I feel I really need to get to that one sooner rather than later. And there's a few books on NetGalley that I sort of accidentally let stack up kind of thing, so I'm trying to get back to those and give feedback and things this month, so I'm really concentrating on that. I've just finished Flotsam, which is the first in the Peridot trilogy. Really enjoyed that one, so I actually really want to get to the sequel for that sooner rather than later as well. Because I've been given an arc for the first one and that was really, really good, so that's another one that I'm going to be getting to, is the sequel to that. And this month as well I need to be reading Sabriel by Garth Nix for my book club, which I'm really quite looking forward to. I remember trying to read this one back when I was in school and I never really got through it, so yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to actually getting to it. And then I'm also going to be reading City of Stairs for one of my other book clubs. That's definitely going to be something I'm reading this month. It's one I'm meaning to get to for a while, so I'm actually really excited to finally be getting to this one. So yeah, a book I got given for Christmas that I've been meaning to get to for ages is The Way of Kings, which is the Stormlight Archive. I've been putting this one off because I wanted to read Warbreaker before I got to it, because everyone said you should probably read Warbreaker so you can get some of the sort of tie-ins in this. So definitely really looking forward to getting to Way of Kings at long last. I love the Mistborn trilogy, I love Mistborn Era 2, really enjoyed Warbreaker, so I'm just so excited to be continuing with Cosmere and getting to Stormlight Archive, which everyone raves about as like the best of the, one of the best of the Cosmere and stuff, perhaps a little bit behind Mistborn trilogy, but yeah, absolutely excited to be getting to this one. And I think this is actually both of them in one, like, usually in the UK you've got like part 1 and part 2, but I think this is both of them, but I'm not 100% sure, I'll have to double check. Although on that note, The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson will be coming out later this year, and I'm really excited for that. I like Mistborn Era 2, it's not nearly as epic as Mistborn Era 1, but it's enjoyable, it's fun, and I really like how it's contributing to the stuff that you learned in Mistborn and tying up some loose ends that you kind of didn't realise were loose at the end of that trilogy. So I really, really enjoyed Bands of Mourning and where that went, so I'm super excited for Lost Metal, really excited it's coming out this year, so that's one I'm definitely going to be reading with. Probably as soon as it comes out, to be honest. I also started reading Assassin's Crest back in like March or something stupid, so I really need to get to this one sooner rather than later. I'm liking it, I'm liking where it's going, but it's just such a big book, and at the time when I started reading it I was really, really busy with university work, and it was really just dragging down my reading momentum, and I could feel myself heading towards a book slump with this one, so it's like I didn't want to get into a reading slump, so that's kind of why I put it down. And just because of readathons and Pride Month and just needing to get some other books before this one, it's kind of taking the back seat, so definitely going to be trying to prioritise Assassin's Crest and come to the end of Farseer trilogy, hopefully before the end of summer, but we'll see. I then also really want to get to Detective Sunlight. This is the sort of sequel companion novel to Thorn by Instar Kahani, and I read Thorn last year and it was kind of a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did, but I did. And yeah, so I'm really, really excited for this one. I'm really excited to see kind of where it's going, because it's kind of, it's set in the same world and it kind of picks up at the ends of Thorn, but you're with a different character, I believe, sort of thing, so that's why I say sort of companion novel. So yeah, I'm just really, really excited to get back to this world and back to this sort of fairy tale kind of setting and see where this story is going to go next. Similarly, I read the first 2 novellas in the Dead Djinn universe, The Dead Djinn in Cairo and The Angel of Khan El Khalili, and I've started listening to The Haunting of Trankar 045, but I'm not sure if I'll get to the end of that one or not, because I already have a copy of Master of Djinn. I've had it for a while and my friend's read it recently and she says this is amazing, so I really, really want to get to Master of Djinn. It's not too big of a book sort of thing, so it's definitely one I could finish quite quickly, I think, because if you don't know the Dead Djinn universe, it's this sort of steampunk Cairo sort of setting. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm just dead excited to finally get to this, because it just sounds like such an the novellas have been amazing so far, and I'm just so excited to go back to that character and go back to this and just see where it's all going to go sort of thing. So yeah, this is definitely one I'm going to be reading sooner rather than later. And sort of on a similar vein, last year I read Blood Heir, which is a really, really great fantasy sort of novel, and I finally managed to pick up the sequel to it. You know, there's 3 books out already. I've just been meaning to continue this for the longest time, and I've never really gotten a chance to, partly just because I don't think I've seen this stocked in my local Waterstones sort of thing. So yeah, it's just kind of been hard to get a hold on. But yeah, this was really, really fantastic. I really liked the first one, so I am super excited for the sequel. So yeah, that's all I really have to say on that one. Also last year I bought some second-hand copies of Blood Song and the sequel Tower Lord of a friend of mine, and I've just been meaning to get to this for absolutely forever. But I just never really got a chance to. It's a chonky boy, so I guess that's probably what's put me off it as well. But I've heard so many good things about Anthony Ryan as an author, and Blood Song specifically is a really good series. So it's definitely one that I just really, really want to get to, especially kind of now that I'm kind of getting in a bit of a high fantasy mood sort of thing. I really want to try and get to this one whilst I've got that momentum, really. And I also really want to get to the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. This is a lovely Fairy Loot edition. This is one of the first Fairy Loot adult box books that I got. And it's just kind of been sitting on my shelf for ages, and I've heard so many good things about it, and I just really, really want to get it, because again, this is just a really pretty cover as well. Really pretty Fairy Loot edition, and I'm intrigued. Something for around October though, and that's going to be The Coven by Lizzie Fry. I mean, I've been in such a witchy mood recently, I can't believe I didn't read this one when I was in that witchy mood, but that's how things go. But yeah, just another one that I really, really want to get to. I'm loving the trend in YA fantasy and fantasy in the last year, where there's a lot of like witchcraft and giving power back to women in the witchcraft and stuff, so I just can't wait to get more of that shit, because it scratches an itch, okay? I love seeing oppressed women rising up and killing people with magic, because fuck the patriarchy. We love to see it. And then if you've watched a few of my sort of videos and things, you'll know that I really love the Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue series, and the most recent one is The Nobleman's Guide to Scandal and Shipwrecks. And it's just one I want to get to, because I really like this series. I really, really liked the second one, and I'm very curious to see what more chaos the Montague siblings are going to be getting into. This is a lot bigger than the other two though, so I have a feeling this is maybe the last one in the series perhaps. But yeah, I just like I said, I wasn't sure if there was going to be another book, because sort of each book kind of does end things off almost in a kind of like, standalone type way with an overarching theme, so you kind of don't really know if it's going to continue or not, which is quite nice, to be honest. So I was a bit surprised actually when I found out this one was coming out. So yeah, just another one I really, really want to get to, because I do just really love this series. I love these characters. They're so chaotic, and I just really want to get to it. I'd also recently picked up a copy of Blood Scion, I can never pronounce it. Just what I want to go to for its gorgeous cover, and I don't think enough people have been talking about it, and it sounds fascinating. I also really want to reread a few books, but most notably Strange the Dreamer, which I read when it first came out, and it didn't really hit the mark for me. I love the Doctor Smoke and Bone trilogy, and this didn't quite hit the same mark as that one did, so I kind of put it down and just never really thought about it. But I've heard people like, Elsa and Walker and that talk about how much they love Strange the Dreamer, and since my tastes aligned quite well with theirs, I was like, okay, I should maybe give this another go. So I've actually got a few books that I picked up when I was last out at my dad's that I just want to kind of give a go, read them again, see how it's all going to go, kind of thing, to see if my interests and tastes have changed over the years and stuff, and if I actually enjoy these books. So this is one that I definitely want to prioritise for that. It's really, really nice copy as well, with really nice sprayed edges. Also, just a quick thing on things to come out and things. Bloodmarked is coming out soon. I'm so excited for that. Legendborn was absolutely fantastic, and I really, really can't wait for the sequel. I really want to read Voice of War as well. This is just another one I've heard loads of people be talking about, and it just sounds really interesting, and I definitely want to get into some more self-published, independently published authors and stuff as the year goes on. So what better way to start? I really want to read Bravely as well, just because it's like a continuation of Merida, and it's Maggie Stiefvater, whose works I do really like, and also because I'm slightly curious to read it, because obviously it's sort of, it's the Scottish Pixar film, but they've chosen an American author to write it, which is always a bit of an interesting decision, so I kind of just want to, pick it apart and see what she's done to my culture. Maggie Stiefvater though, really want to get to Mr. Impossible. I meant to get to it last year and I still haven't, okay? Like, I have no excuse. And then recently I really want to get to more Frances Hardinge. You know, this is a sort of proof copy that I got at Yelk last weekend, and I've read Frances Hardinge before with Deep Light, which I absolutely loved, and Unraveller as well was just an amazing book. Like I have nothing but good words to say about this. I loved it. And it's just kind of made me interested now after these two books, which I didn't just like, I loved both of them. I'm like, okay, I think I need to read some more Frances Hardinge and see if she really is just striking, you know, lightning striking every single time, or if it's just these two books. So I definitely want to get to more of her books and just see if she's going to be an author by author for me. And that's mostly it, to be honest, at the moment. You know, that's kind of, you know, I could have accidentally gone down the route of just naming every single unread book on my shelves, but I've tried to condense it to the ones that I'm definitely going to be prioritising. You know, the main ones as well just being finishing off the Farseer trilogy, starting Stormlight Archive, and finishing those books for my book clubs and stuff for this month and things, as well as any ARCs that I've received. So that's definitely going to be the one I'm going to be prioritising. Have you read any of the books I've mentioned here? Which ones do you think I should get to first? Do let me know, I would love to hear your thoughts. And any other books you would like to recommend to me that you think are coming out soon that you think I might like, you know, let me know down in the comment. I'd love to hear from you. If you've reached the end of this video, feel free to leave a like and feel free to subscribe. I post 2 videos a week. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.